The brook trout on Lake Nipigon in northern Ontario were taken to the brink of extinction through human contact. But this clear, cold body of water was given another chance by mankind, and it has come back on a remarkable scale. When you take care of Mother Nature, she gives back. Lake Nipigon is the home of world-class trophy brook trout, and believe me, coming here is one epic adventure.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff Parks with the New Fly Fisher, and we're here in Superior Country heading up to Lake Nipigon to fly fish with Tyler Dunn and Tyler Dunn Guiding for trophy world-class brook trout. And this episode starts right now on the New Fly Fisher.
Ooh, that's a nice sized fish.
Absolutely fantastic.
Good fish.
The New Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada.
Driving up to the Nipigon region alongside the shores of Lake Superior are both exciting and peaceful at the same time. This trek is filled with stunning views and wildlife. The Quebec Lodge in Red Rock was our home base for our trip, and the hospitality was as good as it gets. What a beginning to a great week of adventure. My first impression of our guide this week, Tyler Dunn, is that this fellow means business. He is focused and yet full of fun and just a delight to be on the boat with. Needless to say, I was excited to start our day.
And this is a barbless,
Single barbless, yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to know where to cast on this lake, as there is good water everywhere. So many large submerged rocks and crevices for these fish to sit and ambush from.
I gotta hit that rock. Stung him.
Get a cast right back in there, sometimes I'll hit it again.
Yeah.
That's a brookie. Bit right away, eh?
Yeah. Didn't see it, but
No, me neither. I didn't see it either.
no.
Hard to see the things.
We decided to take a break from the boat and hop on shore, where we hit our first hookup.
So we're here on Lake Nipigon, but we found a piece of moving water, and fish love moving water, and we're working with a single hand rod. We got quite a lot of turbulence here in front of us, but when you're working with these single hand rod and you're swinging with a single hand rod, what you'd like to do is your setup needs to be with a very straight arm and your rod tip down like this, just like this. Because what you can do, if you get a hit in this water, you can extend your arm up and you're going to get a better hook set compared to if you have your arm here and you're fishing here. And if you do this, you're not going to get much of a good hook set on some of these brook trout. And these brook trout are really hitting the fly fast. And if you're in here at all, you're not going to get a great hook set. But if you reach out, rod tip down, as soon as they hit, rod tip up, that's a good athletic hook set. So try that next time when you're swinging with a single hand rod. You'll get a better hook set, especially when these fish in this kind of water are going to hit it hard and spit it out really fast. Fish on, fish on.
Nice. Nice. Beauty.
These Lake Nipigon brook trout are full of power. You cannot hurry these fish to the net. Keep a good bend in the rod and have a very soft reel hand, as these brookies will test your drag system.
Whoa, that didn't take long. Now we just got to bring them back.
Now we got to get her in, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. So we just stopped off from a little bit of a break from the boat. We've had a couple hits and took one cast with the white muddler, and that was a beautiful hit. But we're in some moving water.
See the least.
And you know what they say, moving water always holds fish. Here it comes. Oh, there it goes.
Nice. Nice, brookie.
There he is, buddy. Let's see if I can bring him in a little bit. Nice. Nice.
Awesome, buddy.
Right on, pal.
Nice fish, Jeff.
Thanks. Nice fish yourself, buddy. You brought us here. This is your fish.
Feeling pretty proud and relieved with our first fish in the net, we hopped back on board and moved to another location.
So we're at a new spot here, Tyler.
Yep.
Can you tell us why we're here?
Yeah, absolutely. We're kind of just pounding some shoreline. We're heading up to an area where the fish congregate at this time of the year. We're still in pre-spawn mode. So these fish are moving into the spawning areas, moving up, moving in, moving out. So we're kind of just trying to pick off the early season pre-spawn brook trout that are going to move into these areas, looking for their mates, feeding.
Right.
So we're here looking for those aggressive early season colored up brook trout.
Cool. All right, let's give it a go, see if we can catch
do it.
one. This is just good stuff right here.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
Oh,
You
he's
got him
still
again.
on.
You got him. Nice.
Yeah, you do got him.
Good job, buddy.
All right,
nice
so this
fish.
guy, he came out of nowhere.
Nice fish, too.
Oh, and that was just sitting. There was a big rock there, and I was hoping that there might be something there. It's when you're fishing for these things, you almost feel like you're fishing the same water for smallmouth bass. Let's see if I can bring him in, and then so it's to be a quicker hookup for you, buddy. See if I can get him to the surface. There we are. Awesome.
Exactly the spot I was talking about.
Wow, I thought I lost him.
What a comeback these Lake Nipigon brook trout have made.
So this is the fly that we got the last 3 fish on. We landed 2, lost 1, and basic bunny muddler is what you would call this, and it's got some deer hair for a collar here, up at the head, and it's got, you can't see, it's hard to see right now because it is wet, but when it is wet, the rabbit tail right here really moves. So we've got a lot of movement, and we got some bulk up here that looks pretty tasty to them. And we've got some rubber legs for more movement, but we've also got a nice pink hot spot right here to grab their attention. That really seemed to have done it today because they've been tough for us. And this is the one that did all the work for us for this last little bit.
Patience is always needed out here, and with the black bunny muddler, we were having some great success today.
You'd think you'd be able to see them sometimes, and all of a sudden, oh, there's just a brook trout sitting there.
Yeah.
What the hell? We'll do some sight fishing early on in the year when they go on the sand flats.
Right.
The sun, like I'm talking May long weekend, early June. We do some sight fishing then. But you have to have the right day. Nice, beauty. I like this better at the bolt control like this, much better.
Well, it looks like black is the winner today.
Yeah, another good fish, Jeff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, this one's
Nice.
going.
Nice.
This one's going. Wow!
Yo, loop-de-loop.
No kidding. He's running around like he lost his car keys. Late for work. This is a fast fish. Wow.
Nice fish, I know.
Wow, they're liking that black.
They are.
This black has got a little pink belly on it, or just a little pink splash on the belly, and I think that's got him going. I guess I'm gonna have to come this way, pal. Well, you put us on the right spot on this, on this here. Okay, see if I can get him into you. There, nice. Nicely
Nice
done.
one. Kick this
Beautiful,
back here
buddy.
again.
Woo! That was a hit. That was a fast fish.
Nailed it, bang.
Nailed it, yeah. Right at that spot you were
Yeah,
saying.
so that's rocks just money.
Yeah. That is a beautiful brook trout. Loving every minute of this.
What a day. I was looking forward to a relaxing recharge back at the Quebec Lodge tonight. Nothing better than a comfy setting with great food and fun, fishy chatter. Quebec Lodge is a great place to stay for your trip up in Nipigon with cozy surroundings and terrific food. We spoke with Ray Rivard about his facility.
The package that we're offering includes their accommodation, their meals, the guide, the boat, the gas, everything. They just have to get themselves the front door. We will also, for those that are flying into Thunder Bay, we'll pick them up in Thunder Bay as part of the package. There's no requirement for a number of days of fishing or staying here. But a lot of the fisher people will come for 3 days of fishing, so they come in the night before and then they'll fish for 3 days and leave the day after. The package includes 4 nights accommodation, 3 days of fishing. So we try to make it as simple as we can for them, and you know, whether they're coming from New York or from Ireland or wherever and they fly in, we'll pick you up, we'll drop you off. Breakfast and dinners, and we do the box lunch that go out with the guides, so they don't have to worry about any of the meals.
Tomorrow can't come soon enough. I am pumped for our next day. Seeing how incredible this fishery is here, I feel like I've been sent back in a time machine where this region had produced a world record brook trout in 1915. But this system had become overfished, and I reflected on a conversation I had had with longtime resident and guide Gord Ellis.
When I started fishing here, like in the early 80s, the fishing stunk. It was really, really bad. There was very few brook trout. It was a 5-fish limit then. There was all sorts of problems with the dams. The water was going up and down. The eggs were drying out in the reds because the water was getting too low. Catch and release absolutely is the way to go if you want to rehabilitate a fishery and build it up to be as good as it can be. Lake Nipigon and the Nipigon system is the home of the world record. It's some of the most beautiful water, trout water you'll ever see, and it also is probably your best chance to catch a personal best, especially reasonably accessibly. You don't have to get on a full plane to get here. You can drive. From that point of view, I think probably your best place to catch a great brook trout.
With all the efforts that have gone into improving this fishery, along with the looming climate change and rising water temperatures, I was feeling quite emotional knowing that this Nipigon system is still hanging on, growing and thriving. When humans group together in a positive way, we can make changes.
Got the fish, guaranteed. Got him. Nice. Good job, buddy. Nice job. Nice brook trout.
I was just gonna say, maybe it's time to switch back to a sculpin. And we ended up connecting with the old feared and dreaded, one of the best flies, clouser.
There it goes.
I think this fellow just realized he was hooked. And he came out just out of a little rock there. Oh yeah. He didn't like that net. Smaller guy, but he's got lots of vim and vigor. Wow. This guy's really giving it. All right, we're almost there for the net, buddy. Maybe, or maybe not. All right. Sorry, pal. This guy is not wanting to come in. He sees that net and he's saying, "I don't think so." This fly has some nice gold fleck to it.
There we go.
Got him. Nicely done. Boy, he was not coming in.
No.
This fella here, he hit 3 times before he actually committed. Felt like it felt a little bit of a ting on the line, and then another one, and then all of a sudden, wham. And that's a beautiful fish right there. And he didn't run, but did he pull? He had about 6 pulls when he saw the net. So we're here at Lake Nipigon, and we're working the edges of the lake here, and trying to find the best spot to put this fly. So reading the water, obviously a little bit different than in a stream, but lots of big boulders, and there'll be a boulder here, and it's that pocket in between where these fish, these brook trout, seem to be hanging. We call that the strike zone. So what you're going to want to do when you're working that strike zone, you're going to pinpoint a spot. Try to get it into that little bit deeper, darker water between those boulders where you think they may be, but let that fly hang there for a couple seconds, maybe even 5 seconds. Let it sit, let it drop just a little bit before you start moving it. It may look stunned. When it goes in, if it doesn't move right away, it goes in, it goes down, it looks stunned. That's easy prey for these things. And then give it a couple twitches, but try to keep it into that strike zone as long as you can. A lot of times when people are fishing and they're putting it into that strike zone like that, they start stripping right away, and it's really only in that area where that fish might be for a second. So you want to keep that fly in there as long as you can without it getting stuck to the bottom.
keep it in the bottom, and then a couple little twitches just to move it, make it look as though it's maybe coming back alive, and then try to just slowly take it out of that area where you think that fish might be. And that should help getting yourself into a few more fish out here.
The knowledge of this lake our guide Tyler has is second to none. He knows where these brook trout feed. I asked Tyler about his guiding business.
I'm up in the Nipigon area a few times of the year. In the springtime, we're doing pike and brook trout. And then for the rest of the year, we're doing mostly brook trout and lake trout, as we're doing now here in August. And then I'm back up here usually mid-September for some lake trout. Not only does this area have great fishing, all kinds of wildlife. You have the black bears, lots of moose, there's woodland caribou on the lake, pelicans on the lake, all kinds of different rivers off Superior you can fish or hike, countless inland lakes. Then you have all the provincial parks. Guide season usually starts in June up here on Lake Nipigon. We're targeting trophy northern pike to begin the season. Then we mix in brook trout for the remainder of the year, July, August, September, and into September for the lake trout. Fall fishing can be tough. We have some predominantly north to northwest winds on the lake. The biggest factor for coming in the fall is that's going to be your best chance of getting a colored up big trophy brook trout. Fire red bellies, you get the white tips on the fins. If guys want to come catch a big, beautiful brook trout, I highly recommend early September. Typically, my trips do book up very quick on Lake Nipigon. I highly recommend anybody wanting to come up here with me to contact me about a year ahead of time, at least 6 months, but I highly recommend a good year ahead of time to book the date that you're looking to book. This is one of the most beautiful parts of Ontario that I feel like everybody should visit one time in their life. Whether they travel Highway 17 or Highway 11 to get here, you won't be disappointed.
With Tyler's expertise, he led us again to a very productive fishy spot.
There's it. Fish
Nice. Good job. Good job, Jeff.
on. Don't know. Yeah, that's a nice fish. That's beauty.
Beauty.
This has been a interesting little spot. I've had quite a few hits just in this one spot, and I just said to Ryan that this is a real fishy spot. Then again, I felt a little tick on the fly. This one's all colored up, and I kept that. When it happened the third time, I basically thought I had bottom. Or I was ticking
Beautiful.
bottom. This is a beautiful fish.
What a fish,
wow.
man.
Now those are some spots and some colors on this fella. Holy moly. He's gonna see
Doesn't
that.
like me.
He saw that net again.
Beauty.
I did see something come out of his,
White, see that?
some white come out of his mouth.
Smelt.
But to the net. Ooh,
look at
and
that.
just popped out.
Barbless.
Wow, that's that same fly. That clouser for the win today. This has been a beauty. Okay, let's take a look at this fish. This fish is just full of colors. This is probably the most colorful fish that we've caught in the last couple days. Let's just take a look at this. Wow, take a look at that fish. Look at the colors on that belly right there. That is unbelievable. The back, it's a thick fish. Colors, that black mouth. So this has been the happy fly today. We've had a lot of movement on this this clouser here, and just some great flash to it. Really cool orange body, kind of a smelt top to it. Gold eyes, not much to it, but they're honed in on this color today. This is awesome. So just another chat about casting with the wind, against the wind, wherever there's wind. It doesn't matter where you go, there's always wind. And we got the wind blowing at me right here. So a right-handed cast, when I start casting like this, it's obviously going to start to blow that fly into the back of my head potentially. So a lot of times what we can do is we can do a backhand cast and have the wind blow it this way away from us. However, if you can't do that because we're in a boat right now and I don't want to hook onto my guide Tyler here. So what you want to do, if you have to have the wind on your right hand side if you're a right hand caster, vice versa if you're left, but really go sidearm. Trying to keep that wind and that fly away from your body. Because remember, the fly follows the rod tip. So if you can keep the rod tip a little bit farther away from your body, so rather than being upright like this and casting it more like that, you want to have your rod tip more sidearm and pointing it out away from you to really keep that fly away from your body. And that'll help when you're casting into a wind like this when you can't go backhand.
Today was a day to remember. 2 beautiful brook trout to the net with 2 other missed fish. Our last day is tomorrow, and I'm still dreaming there is a world record brook trout with my name on it lurking in this cold, clear, beautiful body of water. After a much needed rest, my excitement level was turned up to full for our final day. It looked like Mother Nature was going to throw a mixed bag of conditions at us today, and I was prepared for sunshine, wind, and rain.
Tyler, what do we got going on today?
Hopefully some big brook trout. Jeff, we're heading out Lake Nipigon here. We got some cloud cover today. We're gonna go pound some shoreline, look for some big coasters, maybe some pike, maybe a whitefish, but we're really gonna target those brook trout today. Rock piles, rocky points, some shoals.
Beautiful. Sounds great. Let's get on it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Tyler is an absolute wizard at knowing where these fish are, and I had to make sure he had a chance at a little fun himself. Tyler can accommodate all different types of anglers, from conventional to fly.
Fish, fish. Feels like a nice one. Of course.
Nice little guy.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Just swinging?
Just swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome catch, Tyler.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we've been catching a lot of big ones. I'm not saying yours was a little bit smaller, but talk to me about the size and how good is it to see that?
Oh, it's great to see that. Of course, we want to see big fish only some days, but
right.
That's not the case in reality. But Lake Nipigon standard trophy size is about 22 inches. The average fish in this lake is about 18 to 20 inches, I would say.
Got it.
So we're getting a lot of fish over the 22 the last couple days. But this fish we just caught here is probably under the 20-inch mark, which is on the smaller side of the lake. But it's always good to see different sizes, different year classes. It's a healthy fishery.
Yeah, healthy. Smaller fish means they're growing in numbers.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's do it again.
Let's do it, man.
Okay, we're just going to talk a little bit about the flies that we were using here this week at Lake Nipigon. Probably the best that we were using was this black bunny leech. So anything with a lot of movement, but white, blacks, greens will work on that. A lot of muddler patterns, so bring a lot of muddler patterns. Clousers, we did very well also on some clousers, and some of these clousers you can make in all different colors. This was a nice pattern that was just a basic pattern, but if you can make it in oranges, which the oranges were working really well for us. And what you can also bring, because we have seen some rises out here, so always bring a mouse pattern with you. A couple mouse patterns or some gurglers. Gurglers always work well in yellows or darker colors. You also need to bring just some big bushy flies, some hexes, any kind of big type of a caddis. And those are the flies that work for us, and those are the flies that I would bring if I were you to come here and be successful on Lake Nipigon. So this is the equipment that we were using this week at Lake Nipigon. I was using a 7-weight, 9-foot rod. You can use an 8-weight if you want. I'm more comfortable with tossing a 7-weight all day. We were using a mid-arbor reel.
You want to have a mid-arbor. You want to have a mid-arbor more so than a small arbor. These fish are not going to run that much, but they're going to bulldog it down, and you need to, each turn, you need to pull in quite a bit of line for them. The line that we were using is intermediate sinking line, and that seemed to really work well. These waters right now they're pretty high, but even when it's a little bit lower, you should have an intermediate sinking line, but also have another reel with you that has a floating line on it in case you need to change it up into some shallower bays, and also if you're wanting to put on some of the gurglers or some of the mouse patterns or any dry fly. You want to have something that you can just switch right away, and that's what we were using to be successful out here this week.
What a difference a day makes. Our trip here had been very successful with our hookup to net ratio, but it was like the fish gods were against us today.
Awesome. He's gone. Oh.
We had sunshine, clouds, and rain.
I think it's a brook trout, where it's active.
We were getting a suntan and wet at the same time, but the net was staying dry.
Just want to talk a little bit about the back cast now. I find a lot of people struggle with the back cast, and it's because they try to force it. And it's the same cast as they're always doing as they're going back and forth, but when you're doing a back cast, I like to do something called the oops cast. And the oops cast basically is when you go forward with your cast, and as you're going back, and just before you start going to your forward cast, just almost say to yourself, oops, and let go. And I'll just show that here. So I'm going to start my cast off, back and forth, and then here. So there and oops, and I let that go. So you're not really forcing it. It's the same amount of energy as if you're going to go forward, but just before you start going forward, just let go, and you've already created momentum with that fly line. And therefore, that fly that's going to follow that rod tip is just going to travel that way, and you're going to have a very, very easy back cast. Try that, and that may help if you're struggling with the back cast.
The day was waning, and I was eager to find a good fish before we had to head back to the lodge. When you're with a good guide like Tyler, you know that there is one person in the boat who wants you to catch a fish more than anyone else, and that is your guide. I know there's days out there where I'll get outfished. I also know there's days out there where the fish will beat me up. But nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever outtry me. And I was giving it all for the team today.
Fish on. Oh, that was a nice hit. You had that fly going really slow.
Beauty.
Really slow, just in amongst a little bit of a crevice. And it just came out of nowhere, and that's a nice fish.
That is, man.
Wow, that's a thick fish. Again, that was on that clouser. That was unbelievable. What a beautiful colored up brook trout. This is why you come to Lake Nipigon. I can't even talk. That was my best brook trout to date. That was phenomenal.
Lake Nipigon was a body of water that was neglected, mistreated, and overfished for many years. The results were disastrous. My hat is off to the dedicated, hardworking people who raised this region from the brink of extinction. Our successful fly fishing trip this week certainly demonstrated that if we give Mother Nature a nudge, she will give back twofold. It's nice to know that if we keep positive processes in place, not only will we be able to enjoy Lake Nipigon, so will future generations. And that makes it all worthwhile.
Well, that's it for us this week. What a great time we've had. I have to give big thanks out to Tyler here from Tyler Dunn Guiding. You are an absolute wizard, man.
Anytime, buddy.
You know, that was fantastic. The fish we got this week are so memorable in my mind. I have to thank Quebec Lodge also and the fantastic staff there for some great accommodations and some fantastic food. What a place to stay when you're fishing here at Lake Nipigon. For more information on this show and other shows like this, please visit us at the web at www.thenewflyfisher.com. And until then, keep fishing.
The New Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada,